Today I'm going to tackle the opinion about, is marching band a sport? The question is, marching band a sport? In my opinion, since I'm a part of a marching band, yes, I do think it's a sport. And if you look at the definition of marching band, a sport, or if you look at the definition of a sport is something that is something that involves physical exertion and practice and stretches and some form of exercise. And when you think about marching band, you really don't think that you really don't think that you get out of breath, and it's really not physically exerting, but it is. And you also don't think that we stretch at all or we work out at all, but we do. We stretch every morning during band camp. Band camp for marching band is usually in the summer. Well, it always is. It's in the summer, and we practice for around 3 weeks, and every morning around 7 o'clock when the thing starts, we usually go out on a big field out in the sunlight, get sun, and then we stretch. So we stretch and we work out our body, we work out our muscles before we practice, and we do a little jogging. And holding our instruments up, it builds up our arm muscles, and that is a form of exercise. And it's also the definition of a sport is something that you go and compete. It's a competition. Football is like a competition as well. And I mean, obviously football is a sport because why wouldn't it be? And everybody's like, oh well, it's not a contact. It's not a marching band is not a sport because you're not contacting. You don't have physical contact with another person. But a sport doesn't really have to have physical contact. See, in tennis, you don't contact another person, neither in golf. So that still raises the question, is tennis a sport? Is golf a sport? Or is it just a hobby? See, but what really defines a sport is if it's a competition, if you have the competitive attitude about everything, if it's competitive, if you have the competitive urge and it's physically exerting you, then it is a sport. And what really kind of disgusts me is people in our band say that it isn't a sport and they really don't care. But I mean, like I've asked a couple other my band members and they say it's a sport too. But that's just how it is. People aren't going to think it's a sport. I mean, this is just my opinion, and I think it is a sport because one, hold on, I gotta switch hands because I holding that up for so long it hurts, and that's why it's building up your muscles, because it's a physical activity and it's building up your muscles. See, one, it's a physical activity with your and you always get those arguments and say, well, it looks like you're just walking, but the majority of the people who think that you're just walking haven't really tried marching band and don't have any intention on it, because they think it's just a lame idea and it's just a lame thing to do. But people haven't tried marching. People who haven't tried marching band, they say that it's not a sport. But there's several reasons behind it to say that it is. One, I'm gonna keep repeating these. One, it's like you're getting a physical workout out of it. Two, it's physical exertion, and you're getting exhausted after it, and you're getting a good workout. Three, you're competing against other bands in a competition to get a score. In any other sport, there's scores involved in it, and that's it too. But it really shouldn't matter if something's called a sport or not, as long as you enjoy what you're doing. It's an activity. Now, you can't say that marching band is not an activity, because it is. But that's just my opinion, and yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Bye. Oh.